Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ServiceNow Infrastructure Made Simple. So let me share my screen and see what is the agenda for today. So today we are going to discuss three-tier application architecture. Okay. So you must have seen web server, application server, and database server. What is this all about? We will discuss in a very simple language. So before I start this topic, let me do a quick recap. Okay. So far we have understood that running an application on a single server is usually not enough. Okay. So as the traffic increases, load grows and the system can become slow or even go down, crash. Okay, that's why we are using multiple servers. We have discussed more about servers and then we have discussed about load balancers. We have discussed various algorithms related to load balancers. Okay, so all these things we have discussed in our prior videos. If you have not watched it, please go there and watch it. So now the main question for today is, once the load balancer send a request to a server, what actually happen inside that server? Okay, how the application is structured there, that's what we are going to discuss in today's video. So guys, before you move forward, I have a good news to share with you. So in my English channel as well as in my Hindi channel, I have opened the membership, and this membership is there for someone who is looking to learn ServiceNow from scratch. Okay, even though you are not a technical person, but this is for you, and we already have started with various videos with respect to ServiceNow admin. After that, we are going to discuss ServiceNow development, asset management, web services, all the courses which are there to provide a complete foundation for a ServiceNow developer or ServiceNow architect. Okay, so we go in deep in both English and Hindi. So if you want, you can subscribe to our membership, because this is the only platform here in which you see the structured content on the latest release of ServiceNow, that is Australia or whatever comes there. Okay, so I am giving you live demos, I am giving you great examples. Thank you so much. See you soon. Okay, so let's start with the basic concept, that is, what is layer or tier here? So, a layer simply means dividing the system into parts. Okay, instead of doing everything at one place, we are breaking down the application into multiple sections. Okay, where each section has a specific job responsibility or responsibility. So typically an application is divided into three layers. The first layer is, presentation layer, or you can say web layer. Okay, you see this is the first one. This is the layer that directly interact with the users. Okay, when you open a website on your browser or maybe open a mobile application, whatever you see there is coming from the web layer. Okay, this layer receives HTTP or HTTP request and then send back the response, like, basically HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the images which you see directly there. Every user request first reaches the web layer. Then we have this application or logic layer. So basically this is the second layer. Okay, you can term this one as the brain of the system. This layer doesn't care about how the screen looks like. Its job is only to decide what should happen. Okay, so all kind of business validation, business rules, workflows are live here, processed here, running here. Okay, for example, when a user try to log in, this layer check whether the user is valid, whether the password is matching, is there any validation applied to this particular user or this particular application. All these are checked here. Then we have the third layer, which is the database layer. So what is the use of this layer? So in this layer, all the data is being stored properly. Okay, so user details, all the orders, all the transaction configurations, everything getting stored here. Okay, so whenever the application layer needs any kind of data for processing, it sends a query to the database layer, and from the database, this layer process the request and send back the result. Okay, so this layer typically run on the systems like MySQL, Oracle, SQL Server, or Postgres SQL Server. Okay, so any type of database runs here. So these are the three layers basically. So now let us rewind. Let us see what is the proper application here. What is the high level journey of a request? Okay, so you see in the screen, at the very first, the user click on the login button. The request goes through the internet to the load balancer. Okay, then the load balancer select the web server. Then the web layer receives the request and passes it to the application layer. Okay, the application layer then decide to check data from the database. Then the database returns the required data. Then the application layer makes the decision, okay, term it as success or failure. The response goes back to the web layer, and finally the user see the result. So when we are saying logging successful, it's not just a simple thing. All these things is happening behind the scene, and all these three layers are working together to give you the result as fast as they can. Okay. So now, why is this important for ServiceNow? You have to understand this, right? In real environments, each of this layer usually runs on separate servers. Okay. We have web servers for layer number one, web layer. We have application servers for application layer and database server for database layer. A server has its configuration, its IP address, host name, ports, everything is there. And in ServiceNow CMDB, all these three servers are appeared as a separate configuration items. So you must have seen in ServiceNow, right? There is application server, web server, all these type of servers are there. So I hope you understand this, why all these type of servers are coming there and what is the role and responsibility of each server. So finally, we can say that a three-tier architectures divide the system into three parts, one for user interaction, one for business logic, and one for storing the data. Okay. So this type of structure division make the system easier to understand, manage, and scale, and finally troubleshoot. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is all for today's video. I hope you got it now. We are slowly covering more advanced topic. So be with me, share these videos with people who actually want to look for, okay, this infrastructure stuff. And if you are looking for top-notch courses on discovery, okay, all type of discovery with live demo and explanation, you can go to Udemy, find OP Singh, me, and then you see in English and Hindi, we have the discovery courses available. Thank you so much. See you in next video.